This is another 5-player fixed card game with Blizzards. I'm red, the 4th player in this game. And it seems I have no suitable continent to go for. I mean, Asia is not a viable option. Besides, other players obviously not wanting someone receive the biggest continental troop bonus when they could easily invade that person, the Australian player would almost certainly not let anyone hold Asia by bringing his army on Siam. However, today I'm not really feeling like playing without a continent either. So like I was hoping that the green player gets some worse Blitz role in Australia attacking yellow's army of 2, but of course the yellow player had to waste that army. And why green you still go for Australia? It must belong to me. You were taking so long to make your decision and I was really starting to get some hopes that you will put your troops elsewhere. Yeah, I don't want to be without a continent. So maybe this is my chance. I mean, even if I fail, to put my troops into one big army somewhere in a neutral place will still be an option. 9 vs 7 has a decent success chance, and if I end up getting a good Blitz roll, then I could end up fully taking over Australia. So let's go. No Australia, no when they say. That's my favorite strategy of them all. So, yeah, I'm so lucky. I go in Australia brr. Rest in peace the green player. There is a new Australian player in the town. Poor, very poor player called green. Oh well, I think it's his own fault, should have definitely waited for one more turn to let me put my troops elsewhere over immediately capturing it and being no worried about me having some more troops on Siam at all. Anyway, I was kinda worried that Pink could try bringing himself into Australia, but he added his troops in North America, so all good. Also was hoping that the purple and yellow players wouldn't clear out the way to Australia for green's 7 troops army on Kamchatka, but they didn't, so all good too. And it looks like that the green player even immediately rage quit the game. In the moment I broke through Australia, he might have even smashed his phone lol. Anyway, let's bring my troops out from Europe to strengthen my Australian hold. Also that might make the yellow player feel better and she might even appreciate me. After all, the diplomacy is another part of the game, so I don't want that she would be worried about me. I want that she would rather get into a conflict with some other neighboring players. I was thinking about sending the alliance requests to everyone, but honestly as the Australian player the alliances are not too much needed, as in public lobbies it's mostly that neighboring players wouldn't invade you into your continent, but Australia is isolated with nobody ever going for Asia, plus Australia has only one border so nobody could really easily invade me anyway. They would need to fully crush my army, which probably be a dumb decision as could really likely end up ruining the game for both of us. So my biggest worry as Australian player now, is that another player who would capture and hold a bigger continent, wouldn't feel hostile towards me, as I mean a certain player after holding either North America or Europe, or might even a combo of South America with Africa for multiple turns and getting quite stronger, could obviously take me out. So like the pink player already sent an alliance request to me and seems to be a friendly guy, so I'm not worried too much about him, even though I would prefer that he wouldn't end up capturing North America soon. Well, so far not sure how to feel about the yellow player, and also there's of course a possibility for the purple player to expand and capture Africa, but even if so, I think he would be more threatening to the European player rather than to me. I think all in all the biggest threat for the Australian player is the European player, as even though Europe gives a good troop bonus, it could be extremely hard to hold, so if someone on you gets mad you will instantly end up being prevented from holding it, so might be worth to relocate yourself to Australia even though it gives a smaller continental bonus, while for the North American player the situation is much better, especially if he has a strong alliance with a certain neighboring player or players and he doesn't really need to worry about that specific border or borders too much while mostly focusing on the border with a problematic player. And in this game North America only has 2 borders, so even one border fewer than usual while still giving the continental troop bonus, so I don't really think that the pink player later on, even if successfully capturing and holding North America, would like to exchange it for Australia. And for the purple player, which is South American / possibly African player in future too, probably wouldn't make too much sense to relocate himself to Australia either, so unless he would like that the North American and European player would get into a big conflict, so then obviously in that situation would be in his best interest to get rid of the neutral player, which in this situation would be me. Anyway, I was thinking if I should eliminate yellow, but one thing, I didn't have a good set, so with that it wasn't really a viable option anymore even if wanting. And then another thing is that I tried to look into future. Before making any kills, I tried to imagine how the situation on the board would look like, would materialize itself after me eliminating a specific player. And what I saw is that with eliminating yellow, the pink and purple players wouldn't be so close to fight each other, and then even if starting fighting, then the pink player would be in a much better position to hold North America, while the purple player would probably struggle to hold Africa. So after all, I might need to help the purple player out to fight pink, which I don't want. I want that other players would be equally able to fight each other without needing any interruption by me. Well, after all, the pink player still probably wouldn't become too strong, and the balance of the game might be still fine even with me staying neutral, but the game could stalemate. So I think there would be much more likely a conflict between pink and yellow, with them being North American and European players respectively, who are neighboring each other. So because of that, I will let them get their continents, while seek to eliminate the purple player, so like he even might end up over weakening himself on the green bot, so then I will be ready to strike and take him out. So no plans to either take out pink or yellow right now, so unless I see I could take them both at once without giving away the game for purple. So like I'm kinda considering, or I mean trying to look if I could take out both yellow and pink at once. But no, I think not, there are just too many troops. I mean, with getting good blitzes I could take them out, but I think I would just end up too weak and the purple player would win the game. And to take either one of them alone I don't want. What I want is that the yellow player would faster capture Europe, so then the pink player could invade her, and they would both get into a conflict, ideally with the yellow player retaliating and crushing one of the pink player's armies. I don't like that the pink player is actually holding North America while the yellow player looks more like a scared passive player who tries to survive, but probably I don't have to worry anyway, even though pink and yellow won't over-destroy each other. Probably we will still end up in my mansion 3-player situation with pink and purple, so instead of me taking the yellow player out, the pink player should be the one who eventually takes her out. Or maybe not, there will still be the 3-player endgame with the pink and yellow players like I wanted, as the purple player just set himself up to be killed by me. He's a very juicy target with all of his 5 cards. Sorry, not sorry purple, but next time think twice before making such drastic attacks. At least trade in a set firstly, so you wouldn't be that much worth with just a little troop loss for me, but I will end up getting rid of a neutral towards yellow and pink player. And obviously with green bot not trading in a set at 4 cards, I cannot leave him alive either. There will be another 5 juicy cards for me. And honestly I cannot believe that the yellow player either didn't trade or didn't have a set at 4 cards either, so at the same time I might take her out as well depending on how many troops I will have left, but I know that as the attacker I'm supposed to get the blitz advantage, so I will see if I had at least an equal endgame with the pink player before taking the yellow player out. And actually I really like that blitz on the purple player's army. I lost even 9 troops fewer. And getting all of those juicy cards I'm able to trade in 2 sets at once again. And looking to the troops counter, I should definitely take the yellow player out, and my army is big enough for that. I mean, to now stop and to not take any of these 2 players out would probably be a very dumb decision. They would trade in their sets and would obviously be targeting and ganging up on me. There just wouldn't be another reasonable choice for them, and even though the pink player is my ally, me holding those continents would be way too much, and the pink player doesn't look like an inexperienced player who would be taking my alliance way too seriously. And now taking yellow out and getting to the last pink's troops, I might even get good enough manual rolls to fully take him out. I didn't, but it looks like a very epic win regardless. When getting an opportunity to take the green and purple out, I didn't think that I will actually take all of them out, though I was expecting some good blitzes. But wow, that is just so epic. What a nice way to get fixed cards victory. Just brilliant.